In the posing footage, I am 5 days out, and in this footage right here, I am 4 days out. Current macros, 45 fat, 295 carb. Once again, that's 295 carb, different from what you might have heard in the past, and 225 protein. So once again, 45 fats, 295 carb, 225 protein. And a refeed day is 45 fat, 435 carb, 225 protein. I'm on my legs push pull off repeat schedule still. My cardio is based off of my legs push pull off repeat schedule. It's high intensity intervals on my leg day and 400 calories low intensity steady state on my push day, same thing on my pull day. So it goes high intensity 400 off, high intensity 400 off. It's based off of my legs push pull off repeat schedule. I am in my peak week. This is the final week before the Muscle Mayhem. I have another show coming up 6 weeks after the Muscle Mayhem, but not really peaking in the conventional manner with a front load how we did like in 2011, and I'm not peaking the same way that we did it this last time for the Folsom show. Granted, for the Folsom show, wasn't, you know, at my best conditioning I could possibly be at, and definitely much more conditioned now since it's been about 5-6 weeks since that show, and I am between 2 and 3 pounds lighter now coming into the Muscle Mayhem. But the way training and the carbs are looking this week is continuing, you know, the legs push pull off schedule, though starting 7 days out. My rep ranges for everything was at least 10 reps for pretty much everything. So like my last squat session, and it also happened to land on a hypertrophy week, so I was going to be doing, you know, 10 rep sets pretty much for everything anyways. So it happened to align pretty perfectly. So for the week, everything is looking like, you know, 10 rep sets, nothing below really 10 reps. Just doing the legs push pull, and it happened that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, legs push pull off happened to land on my Thursday before the show. Friday, we're doing a full body kind of circuit style training, just like a 45-minute workout of, you know, 12 to 15 rep sets, working out the entire body. Nothing close to failure, nothing really heavy at all, just moving glycogen around basically. And for carbs, we skipped the 1 week out refeed that I normally have. So we skipped that, kept things going as usual, 45 fat, 295 carb, 225 protein every day. And we're doing that all the way up until Friday. So instead of starting my peak, you know, the Monday or Tuesday, or even a backload starting the Thursday, we're just hitting me hard with carbs on Friday. So we'll be hitting me with 45 fat, 480 carb, 225 protein on the Friday, and then of course a meal by meal plan for Saturday, like six hours out from the show, X amount of carbs, 4 hours out from the show, X amount of carbs, 2 hours out from the show, X amount of carbs, and then just before stepping on stage, a rice cake with some fats, or I'll probably just fucking have some candy. So that's how we're approaching this show. Just hitting me hard with a really, like a real backload. Just the day before the show, hitting it with carbs. And this time I'm gonna make sure to drink plenty of water, because on the last show I was feeling a bit dehydrated the day of, and perhaps it was I just wasn't drinking enough water the days leading up and the day of, and I was not cutting water. If anything, it was a unintentional kind of thing. Since carbs were up, I might not have consciously been thinking about drinking more water than normal. Since when you're taking in more carbs, you generally will be drinking more water. I might have been not drinking as much water as my body wanted, just from stress and whatnot. So I'm going to be making sure to drink plenty of water this time around. And that's basically the peak week plan. Keeping things regular, doing my regular amount of cardio. My last cardio day is basically the pull day, as usual. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, legs, push, pull. Thursday is my off day as usual. Friday, doing a full circuit kind of training kind of thing. Gonna be filming that and everything. Saturday is show day. Feeling good. Could be feeling better, but the way contest prep goes is you get less and less body fat, and especially for the natural, you get a little bit foggier and foggier up here, and that's where the true grit is necessary for contest prep, is to keep on losing body fat even though it's mentally and emotionally tougher on you as you get leaner and leaner. So it's odd, it's fun, it's interesting, it's stressful, but that's what the sport is. It's grinding, it's grit, especially at the latter stages of a prep. So I've realized that everyone can put on muscle in the off season and lift weights, but competitive bodybuilding is the hardest part of it. Really is just the grinding to the low body fat levels. That's where it's like, holy shit, this is actually hard, and that's where the true tests come. And throughout the last couple weeks, I've had times where I'm like, holy shit, is any of this even necessary with what I want to do with my life? And I was like, gosh, sometimes I was honestly just questioning what I was doing, and I had to keep the goal, as Alberto always said. I've had to constantly remind myself, okay, this was a goal. This was actually a goal that I made for myself, and that I should hit, because it's really hard to juggle priorities when you have X amount of priorities on the table, no matter what. But the deeper you get into contest prep, the harder it is to manage the rest of the priorities, because like I said, it puts you in this fog, in this state of mind that you're just not as productive in other areas of your life, and it's tough. It is really tough, and that is the hardest part of natural bodybuilding and competitive bodybuilding. It's managing the other things in life alongside getting shredded, because it's like anyone can pretty much get shredded and the rest of their life goes to shit. And the hardest thing about natural bodybuilding is not letting everything else go to shit, and keeping the goal and actually doing the competition you set out to do and beating your previous best physique on stage. So that's what my goal is right now with this show, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna beat my last year's Muscle Mayhem showing, and hopefully keep on grinding forward and get an IFPA Pro card this year. So that's what I'm hoping to do. That's what I'm aiming for. I'm at this point now where I don't necessarily need an IFPA Pro card to establish credibility for myself. It's not like I'm doing thousands of shows just to get any pro card. I'm going for the hardest one. But I've recently been having this clash of priorities with the business, prep, because the deeper I get into prep, the harder it is to manage other parts of life, like I said. And like, this is the point where I'm truly tested on a daily basis. And I've had times where I'm like, wow, this is really getting in the way of my other priorities. But I had a talk with Eric Helms last night. He actually gave me a call, and we talked about a few things and what was going on in my mind, some personal things, and gave me some really good tips. That's why I love 3D Muscle Journey and my coach Eric Helms specifically. He definitely gave me some one-to-one, man-to-man advice on life and stuff, not just competitions. Because to be honest, the competitions themselves, like, it's not hard. Like I said, it's really not hard. It's making everything else work in life, the relationships, communication with family and friends, that gets tough. And he gave me some love and gave me some advice last night that's definitely keeping me on my A game, and I needed that. That's one of the main reasons I have a coach is because these things happen. It gets tough. It gets emotional. Relationships suffer, and it's helpful to have someone who has done it before and who completely understands where you're coming from. And gave me some really good advice last night. So it put me back on my A game. Like I said, I was having priorities issues because one of my biggest priorities, aside from getting my pro card, has been building Legends of Aesthetics, and that is a huge priority to me. It's an insane priority. And like I said, the deeper I get into prep, the harder it is to manage the other things that matter. And there's a lot of other things that matter to me. Like I said, bodybuilding isn't my number one priority, which is why I've been having these feelings of like, gosh, like I hate doing this, but I have to step back and look at myself from far away, third person, and it's like, gotta be grateful for the position I'm in and understand kind of objectively what's going on, what I need to do, understand the relationships, and understand that communication is necessary, and once in a while just take a step back and look at things and assess how I'm doing, and make sure that I'm communicating with people that I need to be communicating with. And I think that was kind of one of my things. So that's my 1 week out posing update. 4 days out from Muscle Mayhem, and I'm ready for this shit. I'm feeling really good. I feel like I'm looking good. Talked to Eric last night, and these last few weeks, ever since my carbs were dropped to 295, I've been on 295 for a week and a half or 2 weeks, and body fat has just boom, it's been flying off. It's like, yeah, had we been on 295 carbs for a longer period of time, I definitely would have came in much leaner for the Folsom show. There's gives and takes, and since I wasn't on 295 carb, I am retaining a bit more muscle, and a little bit more full, but of course not as lean, which is hell just as important. So there's always those gives and takes, but this 295 carb is definitely shredding me up, and keep this up to the Muscle Mayhem and beyond. Things are looking good. I'm within striking distance, 3-4 pounds, and fuck, so it's going great. And just want to thank everyone for all the support that I've been getting. As we get closer and closer to these show dates, I get messages just wishing me support and love, and really thoughtful and kind messages from you guys, emails and so on. And it means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it, guys. So I just want to let you know. 4 days out. By the way, I'm practically caught up on my vlogs. Pretty much by the day of the Mayhem, I'll be caught up to the Mayhem. And then a few days after the Mayhem, I'll release vlog footage from the Mayhem. So I'm basically up with vlogs, and you'll start seeing daily life as it actually happens. So that's a pretty cool thing, huh? So, alright. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.
Hey, quit being a little bitch! Ogus cake!